760.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Dell Small Business.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The suspect in the hammer attack on Nancy Pelosi's 82-year-old husband, Paul, is expected to be charged with attempted murder and elder abuse today. And Twitter's new owner has made baseless allegations about the break. Correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is in San Francisco.
Despite political leaders on both sides of the aisle calling for calm, Elon Musk, who's been under fire for how he'll fight misinformation, fanned the flames. He retweeted, then deleted an article by a conspiratorial website that claimed the two men knew each other before the attack.
And San Francisco police have since gone on the record saying these two men did not know each other before the attack.
Millions of Americans have already cast ballots in next week's midterm elections. In Milwaukee, elections officials are worried about the safety of poll workers. Chief Inspector Jaime Alvarado.
They may carry arms because we're an open carry place and intimidate immigrants who just became citizens.
Our CBS News Battleground tracker puts Republicans in a good position to win a majority in the House. The Supreme Court is expected to hear oral arguments today challenging Harvard and UNC's admissions practices. CBS News legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum.
These two cases would do for affirmative action what the Dobbs decision did for Roe v. Wade, essentially invalidate race-conscious policies to achieve diversity in college admissions.
Court's conservative majority is expected to end those policies. A new count by a group that supports abortion rights shows the number of abortions has fallen since Roe v. Wade was overturned. Correspondent Vicki Barker.
In the first 2 months after the Supreme Court ruling, terminations in states bordering those with new abortion bans spiked, suggesting about half of women with unwanted pregnancies traveled out of state to end them. Even so, it appears the overall number of abortions fell by about 6% nationwide in that time.
Months of drought are disrupting ship and barge traffic in the South and Midwest. Mark Nesselhut heads the Seamen's Church Institute.
What we're seeing are low water levels on the Mississippi and the Ohio that have not been seen in decades, probably more than half a century.
It's happening at a critical time for farmers harvesting soybeans and corn. The Phillies hope to turn the tide in their direction when the World Series returns to home turf for Game 3 tonight. Noah Syndergaard will be on the mound for Philly.
We're even 1-1, taking it back to the bank, where I think we're pretty dangerous. That play environment's really going to help us out.
Lance McCullers goes for the Astros. S&P futures are down 22. Dow futures off 160. This is CBS News.
Dell Technologies early Black Friday starts now with 48% off business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Call 877-ASK-DELL.
Why wait to save? Dell Technologies Black Friday event arrives early with select deals on top tech to power business productivity. The savings start now with up to 48% off performance business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, including free shipping on everything. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL for Black Friday deals. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. And with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One and a member FDIC.
Horror took a back seat at the Halloween weekend box office.
His powers are not a gift, but a curse.
Black Adam held on to the top spot at the box office, hauling in about $28 million in its second weekend in theaters. George Clooney and Julia Roberts' rom-com Tickets to Paradise scored second place again with $10 million. And a scary finish for horror flicks this weekend. They rounded out the top 5 with Pray for the Devil at number 3. It conjured up $7 million, followed by Smile and Halloween Ends. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
Taylor Swift's new album is now her biggest debut yet.
I have this thing where I get older, but just never wiser.
Midnight sold close to 1.6 million copies in its first week, including 575,000 vinyl LPs, delivering it to the top of the Billboard 200. That's the biggest sales week of the year. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building, fast and easy. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74.
Have you heard about the new online home for the Glasgow EPB? Well, it isn't just a new-looking website. It's a whole new way to manage your Glasgow EPB services. At the all-new GlasgowEPB.com, you can take care of paying your bill online like always, but you can also request or transfer your Glasgow EPB services, access customer support guides, easily sign up for GEPB alerts, and learn about all available products and programs. So check it out today, GlasgowEPB.com.
Looking to buy a home? Look to the mortgage professionals at U.S. Bank. Amy Stafford, mortgage lender for the Barron County market, knows buying a home can be a scary process. She has the experience to help you decide how much home you can afford, whether a conventional fixed or adjustable rate loan or FHA or VA may fit your situation. Call Amy at 659-3200. She'll take the time necessary to answer all of your questions. You'll feel good about choosing U.S. Bank to partner with in purchasing your first or your next home. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC.
You know you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
Let me jump in here and say good Monday morning to you and yours here from WCLU. Happy Halloween, the final day for the month of October. We're at 59 degrees. We'll talk about the weather forecast here in just a moment. But first things first, what do we have in the way of Halloween birthdays today? I'm going to look and see where we are on this Monday morning. Kathy Botts has a birthday. Daryl DeRosset has a birthday. It's Linda Sue Coe, Jean Crow, Larry Tinsley, Mark Johnson. We'll sound the 70 gong at the bottom of the hour for Larry Bragg, the big 7-0 today. We've got Joshua Emmett. We understand that Joshua Emmett is turned 15 yesterday. His grandparents called up to wish Joshua Emmett a happy birthday, so we're going to be sure and take care of that today. He is 15. And then we have an anniversary. It's for James and Leanne Gillentine. Happy anniversary to the Gillentines, James and Leanne. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. And online, we're here at WCLUradio.com. Easy to get through. Phone lines are open. We are ready to have a chat about all things. Getting the day started off on the right foot here on WCLU. Let's go ahead and look at the weather forecast for today. 59 degrees this morning. Let's talk about the rain for a moment. We had 43/100ths of an inch of rain kind of off and on again. It rained several times. It came down pretty good if you were under the right cloud. But officially here in Glasgow, we had 43/100ths of an inch of rain, 0.43. The most rain I have seen was up the road at E-Town. They had 82/100ths of an inch of rain. That's the most amount we saw in the state of Kentucky yesterday, smack dab in the middle of the state. Today, we got a 20% chance of a shower, cloudy and 69. Tonight, mostly cloudy and 51. Mostly sunny on Tuesday and a high of 69. Tuesday night, cloudy and 49. We're going to be partly sunny and it has to be unseasonably warm on Wednesday. I would say 70 is going to be pretty warm for the second day of November, I think. We'll see how that plays out. Barometers at 29.91, 99% humidity. South winds at about 4 miles an hour. Let's see, we have 0.43 of an inch of rain in the rain gauge from yesterday. And let's see, what are we doing? We have a temperature reading of 59 degrees.
The week. That's why TJ Urgent Care is open daily, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Their team of doctors and nurse practitioners are highly trained in caring for your family's urgent health care needs. With on-site lab, radiology, and pharmacy, TJ Urgent Care provides the ultimate convenience. No appointment is needed, and TJ Urgent Care is open 7 days a week. TJ Urgent Care, located at the TJ Health Pavilion in Glasgow. TJ Urgent Care, total local care.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those in the Marine Corps' base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve, but passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file lawsuit seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation. 800-611-3437. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-611-3437. That's 800-611-3437. Again, 800-611-3437.
Good morning. It's Monday, October 31st, 2022, 6:11, 59 degrees. Those are the stats for the morning, if you will. Halloween, it's today, and also the last day of October. Hard to believe, but it's here, and we have no choice but to move on through. Just hearing that weather forecast, a little rainy out there this morning, so do use caution. Of course, folks are going to be going around the community with leaves having fallen after it's rained. It makes for a little bit of a trick sometimes in the way of traction on the roadway, so keep that in mind as well. Give yourself a little extra time this morning, if you may, because there is quite a bit of rain out there this morning, at least the remnants of. And then we'll see that warm up on the end of the week. We'll talk about that later on in your forecast. Stay tuned with us. In news this hour, well, big news from Glasgow High School this morning. Of course, we've been talking about lots of different accolades for students, and we'll hear a little bit more about that in the Scotty Report in just a moment. But we do want to let you know that the Glasgow High School Scotty Band had a big accolade, and here's what it is. We want to say congratulations to the Glasgow Scotty Marching Band. They've been crowned the KMEA Class 2A state champions. Now, the Scotties received the accolades after advancing at the state semifinals at Lexington Bryan Station on Saturday morning, and then going on to win the grueling competition against 12 other bands held at Roy Kidd Stadium on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. Of course, that was Saturday evening. Glasgow High School band director Jonathan Holmes and assistant director Doug Smith, they were elated with the band's performance, as well as the many parents, fans, and well-wishers who were in attendance. So again, we want to say congratulations to the Scotty Band for that accomplishment. Now, of course, talking about Glasgow High School, lots to go over in the way of Glasgow High School news, and per our tradition on Monday mornings, it's the best of G-Town You Know, the Scotty Report.
Hey Scotties, I'm Acacia Hayes, Editor-in-Chief of the Scotty Channel. Welcome to this spooky edition of G-Town You Know. On today's episode, Glasgow High School checks out Banned Books Week. We sit down for 60 seconds with one of our new English teachers, and we meet Sammy the Ghost of GHS. The Scotty Channel also takes a look in the library at our very first book tasting event. But first, we have Will Perosi with the headlines.
Good morning, Scotties. I'm Will Perosi, back again with your G-Town headlines. The Glasgow Scotty Band recently took first place at Region for the third consecutive year. Western Kentucky University's Glasgow campus recently launched a new program that will allow area high school students to gain a year's worth of college credits while still in high school. Thanks to WKU for this new opportunity for our Scotties. HOSA Club will be hosting a blood drive in the GHS gym on Wednesday, November 2nd from 8:30 to 1:30. Scotties, in order to donate, you must have parent permission, be 16 or older, at least 110 pounds, and heavily eat and hydrate at least 24 hours before donating. Remember, the more donations we get, the more scholarship money we receive. And you know, the whole saving lives part too. There are some renovations occurring on the Glasgow downtown square, including the replacement of sidewalks and the addition of planters and landscaping with an automatic watering system. Thanks to the city for beautifying our home. Halloween is on Monday, and all Scotties are reminded to act responsibly while partaking in Halloween activities. If you trick-or-treat with your younger siblings, it is from 4:30 to 7 p.m.
Recently, Glasgow High School celebrated Banned Books Week. So we went around the school to ask teachers and students about the subject.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Basile, and I'm here with
Miss Castle.
Why are people celebrating banned books?
So we celebrate, it's funny that you ask that, because sometimes my students say, why would you celebrate banning books? I say, well, we're celebrating the fight against banning books. When you ban books, you're silencing people's stories, and we want all of our students to have access to all information and have their rights to intellectual freedom protected.
What's up, Scotties? I'm Ryan Randall, sports editor of the Scotty Channel. The Scotty football team is now 6-3 on the season after a huge 65-34 win over Casey County. Cross country runners Mia Cassidy and Quentin Grisham qualified for the 2A state meet.
Hey Scotties, I'm Addie McCoy and I'm here with Lainey Bishop. What is it like playing with Caroline on the volleyball team?
It's really fun. I like getting to play with my younger sister. I like watching her grow as a player and just getting better every day.
Here with Caroline Bishop. What is it like having an older sister on the volleyball team?
Well, I think it's really good for me because she helps me out and stuff, and we just work together, and it's a good, sibling bonding experience.
Thanks to everyone who helped out with today's show. Until next week, this is G-Town You Know.
All right, thank you again. That's from Glasgow High School. Just into the newsroom, we do want to let you know about an incident that was developing overnight, yesterday evening, actually. Glasgow police say they did respond to an injury accident along Old Bowling Green Road yesterday evening, and that involved a Barron County deputy sheriff's cruiser. Now, around 8:11 yesterday evening, Glasgow police, they were requested to respond to a motor vehicle accident with injuries there, and upon investigation, it was determined that while the sheriff's department was on scene with a separate motor vehicle accident, Bradford Berryman was driving a 2007 Chevrolet Impala traveling westbound along the roadway. He came up to the incident apparently and subsequently rear-ended an unoccupied motor vehicle that was stopped in the roadway due to the wreck being investigated by the sheriff's department. Now, upon colliding with the initial vehicle, this unoccupied vehicle then struck the Barron County Sheriff's Department deputy cruiser, which was also unoccupied at the time. All vehicles involved, they did sustain moderate to severe damage. Berryman was transported to T.J. Sampson Hospital for his injuries before being transported to the U of L hospital by the Barron Metcalf EMS. There were no officers that received any injuries, and there were multiple first responders who were nearby and assisting patients with the first accident when that secondary collision occurred, but were not injured. Police say that alcohol is suspected to be a pending factor in this collision, and criminal charges are pending against Berryman for the incident. That accident, it was investigated by Officer Jonathan Pendley, and it is ongoing. So again, keep in mind be cognizant of that. And again, this is unfortunate given the fact that over the weekend in London, there was also a tragic incident where a police officer there did not make it from an accident that is suspected to have involved alcohol. So keep that in mind. 6:18, 59 degrees. When we return, we'll take a look at some more news. Stay right there.
Life was already happening. I was married with 2 kids, but I knew in order to set myself apart, I needed to further my education.
Indiana Tech has quality, affordable degree programs to advance your career and the personalized support that helps you succeed. We have in-demand programs in areas like business, healthcare, information technology, cybersecurity, engineering, criminal justice, and many more.
Getting a degree in healthcare administration helped me stand out when it came time to advance my career. The flexibility of online classes worked great for me, and the instructors were really supportive. I was even honored as an outstanding graduate in healthcare administration. Had I done this right out of high school, I wouldn't have been as successful.
Take the next step towards your bright future. Learn more today how Indiana Tech helps busy working adults advance their careers at online.indianatech.edu.
Registration for the next class session ends November 11th.
paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, if you feel like you're stuck with a healthcare plan that isn't affordable, or you simply just don't like how it works, well, right now, during open enrollment is a perfect time to switch to Medi-Share. The typical family saves $500 a month when they join Medi-Share, and what's more, they like it. Medi-Share has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to the industry. That's double. And Medi-Share is the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. It's been around for 30 years. It's shared more than $4 billion in healthcare bills. And here's why now is the perfect time to make the switch. If you join Medi-Share Complete by January 1st, they will waive your new member fees and you'll save an additional 10% off your first year. No fee to join, 10% off every month for all of next year. But again, it's a limited time offer. So yeah, you're not stuck. You've got a great option. Call now, 844-53-BIBLE. That's 844-53-BIBLE, 844-53-BIBLE.
Welcome back into WCLU News, Monday, October 31st. It's great to have you with us this morning. 59 degrees is our current temperature, and out there this morning, a little bit of rain on the roadways left over, but not too much of a concern this morning, other than you need to probably leave a little bit earlier just to give you a little bit of extra time. Of course, it is Monday morning again. School buses will be back on the roadway. Keep that all in mind. In the way of your forecast this week, looks like today a slight chance of showers, mostly before 10 this morning. Chance of sprinkles between 10 and 1, and then just a little bit of drizzle after 1 o'clock this afternoon. 20% chance. Tonight, a chance of sprinkles again. Looks like the low tonight, 52 degrees, mostly cloudy. Getting back into Tuesday, cloudy skies, but a warming temperature, a high near 70. Looking ahead toward the end of the week, the best we can tell you at this point, looks like the skies are going to be clear and the temperatures are going to be up. It looks like 76 by Friday, and even into the weekend, some forecasters saying as high as 80 degrees. So keep that all in mind. Really, it looks like as we head toward the weekend, we are going to see that warm up, and of course that is unseasonable, if you will, given the fact that we are moving into the month of November. But looks like we probably will have that cool down once again. It appears the trend over the last few weeks has been 1 week is a little bit warmer, the next week a little bit cooler. In more news this hour, Glasgow police say they responded to a hotel last week in reference to a male subject who was undressing himself. An officer made contact with Dustin Banks in the grass area of the parking lot of the Holiday Inn parking lot. That was last Thursday. And they say that they advised this gentleman that they were advised by this gentleman that he had just purchased the clothing and was changing into them. Dustin Banks of Edmonton was identified as that person. Now, the officer conducted a search and located methamphetamine and allegedly another unknown substance that belonged to Banks. He was charged and arrested with first-degree possession of a controlled substance, drug unspecified, and that arrest being made there by Sergeant Michael Bergen, assisted by Officer Julie Robinson. 5 states, including Kentucky, have measures on the ballot this year related to abortion. Nadia Ramlagan reports that's the most on record for any single year.
The Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade this summer spurred California, Michigan, and Vermont to ask voters to weigh in on a state-level right to abortion. Kentucky voters will consider Amendment 2 to remove abortion rights from the state constitution. In Montana, voters will have to choose yes or no on a law that declares infants born alive at any stage of development are legal persons. Smith College professor of Women and Gender Studies, Carrie Baker, explains state-level measures curtailing abortion access come with a host of ripple effects she believes would hinder health care access across the board.
What's at stake is people's health, their physical health, but also their economic health and their ability to control their bodies and make medical decisions for themselves without the government and politicians inserting themselves into those decisions.
Supporters of the Kentucky measure argue the constitutional amendment is needed to protect the sanctity of life and give local elected officials the authority to regulate abortions. A new ABC News Ipsos poll shows nearly half of registered voters nationwide say they would support a candidate who favors keeping abortion legal, and 33% say they would support a candidate who favors limiting abortion except to protect a mother's life. Baker says ballot measures can be misleading or written in a manner that is confusing, and points out they are often wielded as a political tool. Nadia Ramlagan reporting.
And just a couple of housekeeping items for your day. County Road Moore Road, that's along Highway 90 in the eastern part of the county. It is reopened, and if you recall, that is due to the fact that there is a Highway 90 construction project going on right now, and that roadway had to be closed for a point of access there for about a few weeks. So remember that it has reopened now. The access has returned, and again, the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet at this point hopes to have that project completed along Highway 90, where they are creating that bypass around the 88 community. They hope to have that completed by next spring. And this evening, of course, it'll be Halloween, 4:30 to 7 o'clock here in the city limits of Glasgow. That's the time that kids will likely be out on the streets, because that's the time the city is placed for trick-or-treating. And if you, of course, would like to hand out candy, that's the time as well. Keep in mind that that's the same time in Park City as well for folks there in Park City. But as all of us need to remember, again, children will be out on the roadways, on the sidewalks rather. So keep in mind all of that as you move through the evening. 6:26 on the dot, 59 degrees. Have a great Halloween.
Catch Brennan Crane's local news coverage weekdays exclusively on WCLU Radio. Good Morning Live at WCLUradio.com and Facebook.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
A police officer is dead after a crash in Laurel County. The incident happening early yesterday morning, just before 1 a.m. in London. Police say City of London officer Logan Medlock was hit by a pickup truck while he was on duty in a DUI accident. 36-year-old Casey Bird from Tennessee has been arrested and faces charges of murdering a police officer and driving under the influence. More information is expected to be revealed later today. A Louisville Metro police officer was injured in a crash late Sunday morning.
In a statement, LMPD says the officer was eastbound on the outer loop near Shepherdsville Road, responding to a call at about 11 a.m. Sunday. He was not running his lights or siren, and he was struck by a vehicle that allegedly ran the red light at Shepherdsville Road. Police say 3 other cars were damaged in that crash. The officer and 2 other people taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. I'm Jack Crumley.
An international tragedy has claimed the life of a University of Kentucky student.
A woman who was a nursing student at the University of Kentucky was among those killed after a huge Halloween party crowd surged in South Korea. UK's president made the announcement that Anne Gieske was among the over 150 people that were killed in the incident. She was from Northern Kentucky and graduated from Beechwood High School back in 2021. I'm Sarah Elise.
Police are looking for a woman who has been missing since crashing her car in McLean County on Saturday night. Kentucky State Police are asking for the public's help in finding 28-year-old Elza Cole of Evansville, Indiana. Officials say Cole went missing around 11:30 p.m. on Saturday when she crashed into the US 431 Green River Bridge. The Green River is being searched by various emergency service departments. I'm Sean McCormick.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
When we lost Frank, we lost a good friend. Father, husband, colleague, and coach. He meant a lot to all of us. Today, we had a chance to tell him that.
When someone close to you passes on, you want to commemorate their life in a special way. That's why individual requests are such an important part of our funeral services. We strive to meet your specific needs for the most fitting service for your loved ones. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
In my family, I'm the planner. From the weekly grocery list to the family vacation, everything, all the details. Though planning for the end was something I left off my list. Then a friend told me about South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow. She said even though it wasn't on her to-do list, seeing them was one of the best planning decisions she'd ever made. South Central Kentucky Monuments showed her the different options they have available, even an image of the finished monument. And since South Central Kentucky Monuments does all the stone carving in-house, it cost much less than she expected. They made the process easy to create the exact memorial she wanted. So my husband and I made a plan to see them. We are so happy with our decision. We encouraged our family and friends to do the same. It'll be the best planning decision you ever make.
Buy direct and save money at South Central Kentucky Monuments at the corner of East Front Street and Columbia Avenue. Family owned in Glasgow since 2010.
You're listening to Good Morning Live on WCLU and on the Big Willie 94.1. We have 59 degrees. We got 43/100ths of an inch of rain in the rain bucket from yesterday. In area funeral announcements this hour, Mendel O. Parker, age 93, of Round Hill, died Saturday at his granddaughter's home in Greene County. The Edmonson County native was a retired shipping and receiving clerk for Reynolds Aluminum, an ordained minister, and a U.S. Army Korean War veteran. He was the son of the late D.O. Parker and Nanny Bell Slaughter Parker, and the husband of the late Versie Seabolt Parker. Surviving are two sons, Mickey Parker of Round Hill and Terry Parker of Clarkson, a daughter, Veronica Parker of Campbellsville, daughter-in-law, Ruth Parker of Brownsville, 9 grandchildren, Mickey Parker, Jillian Riker, Timmy Parker, Melissa Logston, Jason Grimes, Chastity Pennick, David Parker, Chris Parker, and Versie Parker, 21 great-grandchildren and 6 great-great-grandchildren. The funeral service for Mendel Parker will be at 11 o'clock Wednesday morning at the Mount Zion United Baptist Church, where he was a member. Burial will follow in the Hawkins Cemetery. Visitation from 3 until 7 today, and then Tuesday from 10 until 7 at the Grayville Funeral Home, and then Wednesday morning after 10 at the church. Funeral services for Hollis Thompson, age 89, of Tompkinsville, will be at 2 o'clock tomorrow at the Beautiful Home Missionary Baptist Church, with burial to follow in the Beautiful Home Cemetery. Visitation begins at 2 o'clock today and continues Tuesday morning at the Bartley & Son Funeral Home. Funeral services for Jimmy D. Pettigo, age 81, of Scottsville, will be at noon today at the Goad Funeral Home, burial in the Rocky Hill Cemetery in Monroe County. Expressions of sympathy can take the form of donations for funeral expenses. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day free at WCLUradio.com and on the WCLU app. No login is necessary.
It's back. The traditional Christmas open house at Jeff's Country Florist and Gifts, November 4th and 5th. Bring your camera for pictures with the jolliest of elves, Santa Claus, November 4th from 4 till 7. Refreshments, door prizes, and 30% off the entire store both days. It's the traditional Christmas open house, Friday, November 4th, 9 to 7, and Saturday, November 5th, 9 to 3, at Jeff's Country Florist and Gifts, 4911 Scottsville Road in Glasgow.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, if you feel like you're stuck with a healthcare plan that isn't affordable, or you simply just don't like how it works, well, right now, during open enrollment is a perfect time to switch to Medi-Share. The typical family saves $500 a month when they join Medi-Share, and what's more, they like it. Medi-Share has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to the industry. That's double. And Medi-Share is the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. It's been around for 30 years. It's shared more than $4 billion in healthcare bills. And here's why now is the perfect time to make the switch. If you join Medi-Share Complete by January 1st, they will waive your new member fees, and you'll save an additional 10% off your first year. No fee to join, 10% off every month for all of next year. But again, it's a limited time offer. So yeah, you're not stuck. You've got a great option. Call now, 844-53-BIBLE. That's 844-53-BIBLE. 844-53-BIBLE.
What's better than a hand-cut sirloin cooked to perfection? A hand-cut sirloin cooked to perfection, along with the choice of fried or grilled shrimp. What a combo! Right now at Colton Steakhouse and Grill, get a hand-cut 6-ounce sirloin cooked to order with a choice of fried or grilled shrimp. Served with 2 side items, delicious rolls and honey, plus endless peanuts. Get your sirloin and seafood fix at the same time. Only at Colton Steakhouse and Grill in Glasgow, Campbellsville, Radcliffe, and Bardstown. We know what's at stake. Sirloin and shrimp, too.
This WCLU weather update brought to you by Southern States.
One thing's for sure, seasons do change. We might not be able to predict the date of the next cold snap, but at Southern States, in business since 1923, we've seen some patterns. We're ready to fill your tanks and make sure you won't be chilled out by the seasonal changes. Southern States is ready to help you with seed and fertilizer for your pastures and your home lawns. We just love helping our customers prepare for the next season. We're Southern States, 300 Sampson Street in Glasgow.
Yeah, we're going in the opposite direction direction of a cold snap right now, it would appear, as we look at the WCLU forecast for today. 20% chance of a shower, cloudy overall, and a high of 59. It's really kind of damp out there this morning. If you're out early, you'll notice what I'm talking about. Now for tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 51. Tuesday, sunny and 69 degrees. Tuesday night, cloudy and 49. And then for Wednesday, partly sunny, a high up to 70 degrees. Let's talk about precipitation for a moment right here. Yesterday, we had off and on showers, pretty good little showers. The grand total officially for Glasgow is 0.43. We've seen varying amounts. Really, the extreme amount is up at E-Town. They had 8,200s, 0.82 yesterday, but most places around here were pretty close to what we had at 0.43. Barometer's down at 29.91, 99% humidity, south winds at 4 miles an hour. 59 WCLU. Good morning live. Weather forecast brought to you by Glasgow Southern States Cooperative, helping you with the change of the season. Let's stay on the topic of agriculture. Our Good Morning Live Brownfield Ag Report.
Hello, I'm Kellen Havikin with Ag Headline News on Brownfield. Plant more predictability with Pivot Bio Proven 40. Predictable, productive, weatherproof. Turn to a better nitrogen. Turn to Pivot Bio Proven 40. Learn more at pivotbio.com. A high-ranking government official in Mexico's Ag Department says the country will stop importing genetically modified products. National Corn Growers Association's Angus Kelly.
Closely aligned with President Mexico, saying that they would make good on their vow or promise.
More news is next.
Hello everyone, this is Joe and Rachel Dotson from Best One Tire in Glasgow.
We wanted to personally thank you for supporting our tire and repair business at 100 Shawn Lane.
Many of our customers come to us for ag and truck tire, but did you know we are capable of serving any size car or pickup?
With over 300 stores behind us, our buying power means we can pass on to you the very best pricing in our area.
We have many tires and tubes in stock, and we can do alignments on just about anything that rolls.
I was raised in Metcalfe County. After being away for a few years, Joe and I brought our family back to the area, and nothing brings us greater pleasure than servicing our neighbors when they are broke down in the field or on the road. We are here for you. We want to help you by taking the stress out of buying your next tires. We will work with any budget, anytime.
Come in and find out why we are the fastest growing tire company in Glasgow. We love this business. We love this town. Pretty soon you will be coming to our new store out on Highway 90 right here in Glasgow.
Best One Tire and Service, creating one raving fan at a time.
A report from a nonpartisan policy group says damage to crop and rangelands caused by changes in climate and extreme weather in the Midwest in 2021 led to $12.5 billion in economic losses. Environmental Entrepreneurs co-founder Nick Leader tells Brownfield the total cost since 1980 climbs into the hundreds of billions of dollars.
$370 billion. And of that $370 billion, 20% have occurred in the last 5 years.
Ag economist Matthew Gammons with Michigan State University expects rising land values to hit a wall as interest rates continue to increase.
When those rates go up, farm values tend to go down.
Southeast Nebraska farmer Nathan Dorn says he's recently wrapped up harvest and his corn and soybean yields were variable.
Everything under the pivot was just phenomenal. We had a great irrigated year.
However, Dorn tells Brownfield that his dry land yields for corn and soybeans were 60 to 75% below the trend line. I'm Kellen Havikin on Brownfield Ag News.
Transparency, fiscal responsibility, innovation, and leadership are all things that Barron Countyans need and deserve from their judge executive. And those are the exact things that Jamie Bewley-Byrd plans to bring to the office.
Hi, I'm Jamie Bewley-Byrd, and I am running to represent you, the people of Barron County, as your next Barron County judge executive. Let's work together, grow business, improve quality of life, and celebrate the awesome community that we are a part of. I'm Jamie Bewley-Byrd, and I humbly ask for your vote and support.
Paid for by Jamie Bewley-Byrd for Barron County Judge Executive.
The Brownfield Ag Report today brought to you by Best One Tire. Good folks to have on your side. Whether you're on the farm, on the road, they got you covered at Best One Tire. 59 degrees coming up this weekend. Of course, it's a busy time around here. But this weekend, the Bobby Driver Memorial Scholarship is going to be presenting the 14th Annual Singing for Scholarships. Going to be this Saturday at 7 at the historic Plaza Theater. The theme this year is Shadows of the Past, featuring the band High Fidelity and other special guests. The doors open at 6. Now, coming up next hour, we're going to give away a pair of tickets for you to go and enjoy the Bobby Driver Memorial Scholarship Fund, one of the best put on charitable events that I've ever seen around here. And it's got lots of longevity already, the 14th season for this. So be listening for your chance to win those tickets. And just go ahead and plan on being there this Saturday night, won't you?
When God was instructing the children of Israel as to how to escape the 10th and final plague, the final plague that would let them out of Egypt at last, he said in Exodus 12:13, "Now the blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be on you to destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt." God demanded to see the blood in order for them to be saved. Now we fast forward in history to our present day. God still demands to see the blood in order to save us. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 7 says that it's the blood of Jesus that cleanses us from our iniquities. And in Revelation 7:14, it's those that have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb that shall be saved. This has been Bart Warren for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
Thank you, Bart. Always appreciate your input here on Good Morning Live from WCLU. Now I got to give you some input on some birthday honorees right here. I'm going to input a gong right over here, too. Today is the 70th birthday for Larry Bragg. That's right, Larry Bragg. Big number 70. We've got the 15th birthday for Joshua Emmett. Joshua's grandparents called to wish him a happy 15th birthday. Mark Johnson celebrates, so does Larry Tinsley, Jean Crow, Linda Sue Coe. Daryl DeRosset has a birthday today. Kathy Bott celebrates today, too. We have one anniversary so far, with lots of room on the papers, for James and Leanne Gillentine. A happy anniversary to James and Leanne Gillentine today. 651-9149, 800-956-1023, and online here from WCLUradio.com. Today, by special request, it is Russell Hobbs Day on the radio. Now, Russell had a birthday yesterday. I've got a submission for Russell to be good as gold and requested him to actually be good as gold on Halloween, and we were able to work that out. So let me read here from this submission. Russell turned 40 years young yesterday. Let me read that again. Russell turned 40 years young yesterday. He is recovering well from an injury where a car fell on top of him. If anybody deserves a pat on the back, it's him. My goodness, it sounds to me like the good news is he is celebrating his 40th birthday and in a big-time recovery from this car falling on top of him. So I'm just going to say, if you happen to see Russell Hobbs around town today, pat him on the back, do so ever so gently, and tell him you're glad he's doing better, and see how he likes being 40 so far. Well, we just love those submissions. People have special things to say about special people, and you can go on WCLUradio.com and submit those, like this person who did that today for Russell Hobbs. Good as gold, doing better, 40 as of yesterday. Let's let him know so from WCLU and a little taste of Texas. Okay, 6:43, that's what we're up to now. We're going to go wrap up the month of October archivally this morning, as Sam Terry will join us to deal with the archives here. Joseph A. Wade, Industrial Hardware Services, mighty fine folks to have on your side around the workplace, whether it's on the farm or whether it's in the industry or around the home. Construction, yeah, Joseph A. Wade. They do it all the time.
When there's work to be done, you get to it. And Joseph A. Wade Incorporated is here to help. They repair and make hydraulic hoses and repair hydraulic cylinders. If there's a problem, the Joseph A. Wade hydraulic team will help you find a solution. They're also a distributor for Croyle products. Plus, black and orange nitrile gloves are back in stock. Locally owned and operated, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated. Here to help since 1985. Located in the curve of Industrial Drive in Glasgow.
Let me ask you something.
What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle, a combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more, because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Call State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow at 270-651-3608.
All right, we've got Sam Terry. We're up and running. Happy Halloween, Sam Terry. How are you today, sir?
To you also, Henry. I'm well, thank you.
Well, you know, it's a spooky time for sure. I'm going to tell you, it feels like Halloween to me. Doesn't it to you?
It does indeed. Yesterday certainly seemed like we were moving into a change of the season of fall.
Nice little matchup right there, and we have lots of youngsters. And hats off, so many wonderful. I'm going to tell you, so many wonderful events that have been going on for trick-or-treaters, for people to Halloween. Great event put on by the Glasgow Parks and Recreation out at the Grove this past Friday night. There was a ton of people, all well-behaved, all appreciative of the many vendors that were there handing out the goodies, and everybody was happy. It was all safe, and it was, Jason and all the folks out there at the Grove did a good job of hosting that too. So it's a positive thing for sure. Let me get over here to go back 100 years in the archives to wrap up. We're wrapping up the month of October, and I know how you are. You don't like to wrap up any month because it's afraid we might miss something, but I think we got it covered right here. We have news from Union number 5 to wrap up the archives. This was 100 years ago. Listen to this. A large crowd attended the picture show at the Bethel Schoolhouse last Saturday night. How in the world did they have a picture show at a schoolhouse in 1922, you wonder?
That's a good question, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you know, it required, I'm sure, a whole lot of technology, as well as some electricity, and a few other things that weren't in plentiful supply there. But nonetheless, they said, we're going to have a picture show here at Bethel School, and they did it 100 years ago. Also in the news 100 years ago, Miss Catherine Perkins of this place and Mr. Ed McFarland of Glasgow surprised their friends Saturday by driving to Glasgow and getting married. 2 surprises. They drove to Glasgow, and then they got married for Mr. and Mrs. McFarland from 1922. Wow. And also in the news from number 5 here, Sam, cutting corn and making molasses is the order of the day on area farms. I'll say that molasses will last you all the way through the winter for sure. All right, let's go back to 1932. This was the news to wrap up the month of October. Community Hospital is fully approved. That was good news. Here's what it says. The Sampson Community Hospital of this city has been notified of its full approval among 28 others in the state by the American College of Surgeons, which has its headquarters in Chicago and conducts a standard inspection throughout the nation. Now, the local hospital is the only one in southern Kentucky to meet the unconditional approval of the college and is a tribute to the local board of trustees and its staff. And, you know, plus a community that was hungry for quality health care. As let's see, this was 1932. The hospital was, 3 years old, I guess? And here they were approved, and we're getting lots of attention for moving forward.
Quite a feather in the hospital's cap at a time that it was financially unstable.
Certainly.
And there was a big question of whether it was going to make it or not, but thankfully it did.
It did indeed, and you know, it was a whole lot of faith and a whole lot of people tightening their belts, saying, "Yeah, this needs to work, and let's make it work." And so it was. Okay, 1942, this is in the news. This is in the Glasgow Times here in 1942. Mr. and Ms. Dewey Steenbergen have announced the marriage of their daughter, Mildred Louise, to Mr. Denver J. Niemeyer, Jr., son of Mr. and Mrs. Denver J. Niemeyer, Sr., the marriage having been performed by Reverend Garrison in Scottsville on October the 22nd. Now, the bride is a graduate of Glasgow High School and employed by the South Continental Telephone Company. Mr. Niemeyer will graduate from Glasgow High School in January, expects to enlist in some branch of the armed forces. Mr. and Mrs. Niemeyer are very popular with the younger people, and a wide circle of friends offer congratulations. What a nice way to end that story. And of course, they were jumping in. Here's a fella that, of course, she had graduated from high school working at the phone company. He was about to graduate. Right here in the middle of World War II, he was going to be enlisted in some sort of service activity. So they were young and ambitious, wouldn't you say?
Without a doubt. Wow.
1952, this story in the Glasgow Times. We're wrapping up the month of October. From 1952, Mr. and Ms. Joe Lynn Travis, Mr. and Ms. Joe Hall, Mrs. Eva Potts, and Mr. and Ms. Horace Travis were hosts at a Halloween party at the home of Mr. and Mrs. Horace Travis on Monday evening to the Golden Rule Sunday School class of the First Christian Church. Now, Mrs. Hall won the prize for being the tackiest dressed member present, which A.B. Alexander was awarded the prize for the most beautiful member. Bess Howard is the teacher of this class. Of course, Miss Bess is known for doing things right, regardless of what she did, so I'm sure this Mrs. Hall and this Mr. A.B. Alexander were glad to be awarded those prizes in 1952. Don't you imagine that was... I wonder if there's any pictures around. I bet you would know. Is there any pictures of that around, Sam?
I don't know. I wish there were. That would be a fun thing to see.
We got to see the tackiest and the most beautiful man there for sure.
It's interesting how often Miss Bess's activities, no matter what they were, show up in the newspaper.
Right. She knew how to get PR on whatever she was doing for sure.
Profession or her Sunday school class or her civics activities. So a busy lady.
Indeed. Certainly one to learn from for sure. This was the day the Glasgow Times reported in 1962 that the Glasgow Business and Professional Women's Club has sponsored a new chapel for the patients and visitors at the T.J. Sampson Community Hospital. Committee members in charge of the planning included Mrs. Ruby Gazaway, Mrs. Beulah Nunn, Miss Golda Pencil, Mrs. Maud Miller, Mrs. Ann Rogers, Mrs. Jake Sturley, and Mrs. Betty McKibben. Now, this was a wonderful addition. Here we are in 1962, more effort being put into solidifying what the wonderful hospital is that we have here. And these folks with the BNPW Club says we need a chapel. We need a place for people to be able to go and have a serene way to sit and think about things ahead. And it was nice that they got that done, Sam, 1962.
Certainly was. And did you notice the change in that piece, Henry? The BNPW Club was listing members by their own first name instead of their husband's name.
We had Ruby and Beulah and Golda and Maud and Ann and, let's see, we had Mrs. I don't think Jake was Miss Sturley's first name, but they used her, and then we got Miss Betty McKibben. That's modernization, wasn't it, Sam?
It was indeed.
We were taking a step forward right there. We finished 1972 last week, so let's move over here to finish 1982. We have several things to do. A sad day here in 1982. This was the day that Mr. Earl G. Vance, a Glasgow businessman, age 63, died. He was the owner-operator of Tractor and Farm Supply up on West Main Street in Glasgow. And a really nice fella indeed, Mr. Earl G. Vance. Unexpected there, 1982, passed away. Also in 1982, the Brownie Girl Scout Troop 704 held an investiture ceremony with 25 girls inducted into the troop. Mrs. Lois Howard Gray, this day in 1982, was named the Glasgow BNPW Club's Woman of Achievement. Bill Stanek, this day in 1982, manager of Glasgow Kmart, presented a 5-year service pin to Ralph Gentry. Also receiving 5-year awards were Mrs. Margaret Martin, Joyce Overfelt, and Shirley Borders. It's good to honor the employees, and those having that 5-year pin, that was important in 1982. 1982, Girl Scout Troop 257 attended a workshop at the Horse Cave Theater. The girls were actually given a behind-the-scenes look at the theater work, including the set design, makeup, and costuming. Now, don't you know those girls were impressed with all of that over there? Because it certainly was something that we were so fortunate to have such a place like that here, and for the youngsters to go get to see how it worked behind the scenes, that was a big deal. Let's keep going in this busy month of October of 1982. This day, the Hinesville Cardinals are going to play their homecoming game Friday night, October the 29th, playing the Temple Hill Bulldogs. Also, the Barron County Pride print goes on sale Friday. Actually, it's going to be the Friday night Barron County High School Franklin Simpson game. The painting is by local artist Mark Simmons, a talented young man indeed. Prints are $10 each, but they were going on sale for the first time at the football game this Friday night, 1982. More school news. The Hinesville High School class of 67 held their class reunion at the Holiday Inn in Cave City this day in 1982. And some Halloween winners here. The Glasgow Daily Times. Yes, the Daily Times had a Halloween party this day in 1982. Listen to these winners. These are familiar names for a lot of folks. Brian Gibson won. So did Kenyon Wallace and Joe Austin. Crystal Matthews, McKay Dickerson, and Billy Fry. Jeremy Runyon, Whitney Rails, and Karen Schroeder. And you know that they had a big time there in 1982 with that Daily Times Halloween party. Some scary stuff.
I bet they could probably give us a few tales from that party.
That's probably right. Probably some interesting stories unveiled there, because they were always looking for another scoop. Interesting, and as a part of our history, in 1992 this day, the Bunch School Committee began seeking suggestions for use of the building. The 1992-93 school year is going to be the last for students at Bunch 6th Grade Center, with the expected opening of the new middle school. Now, that building is one fine facility, and we talk about it here on the archives a lot. Built in 1950 and served as Ralph Bunch School up until desegregation, and then it became the Bunch 6th Grade Center, and a whole big bunch of us went down there. And, they had a committee trying to figure out what to do next. Well, lo and behold, it is still put to good use. It's still a solid building. It still has multiple uses here in the community. And I'm just really, it's impressive to see how the community took notice of that building in 1950 and kept it going up to this day, Soup kitchen is down there, a lot of other things, and it's just it's been taken care of, Sam. You got to say,
it's certainly a great asset to our community and still serving our people.
No question about it. And it was 10 years ago this day, in 2012, that Olympic gold medalist Claire Donahue visited Glasgow. That's pretty, to have an Olympic gold medalist here, that was a big deal. I believe she was a gold medal swimmer. That she came to Glasgow in 2012 to get the chance to meet some other aspiring swimmers, I guess. You never know what cool things are going to happen next around here. That's why we do enjoy sharing the archives. Do want to thank you. Do want to thank Gail Berry. Thank all of the others who are involved in the activities of gathering the archives. A day doesn't hardly go by that don't hear from somebody saying, I learned about my grandfather's Sunday school class, or I learned about that my whatever went to school in a one-room school or something like that. And so it serves a purpose, and hopefully people can connect. I know I sure do, sir.
Well, I think it's always enlightening to all of us.
I'll see you in November, okay?
See you then, Henry.
Have a good day, sir. Sam Terry on the air in behalf of Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. Remember the motto, history is made by the hard work that stands the test of time. That's what they do every day at Joseph A. Wade, is work hard.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by South Central Bank.
You work hard for your money, and South Central Bank has created a way to get your money working for you by announcing new CD rates. A 21-month CD with an APY of 3.25% is now available. That's right, a 21-month CD paying 3.25% is available right now from South Central Bank. Need a shorter term? Well, a 9-month CD will pay 2.5% APY. Minimum deposit $500. The power of these CD rates is very impressive. Come into any South Central Bank office today and get your money working for you. Remember FDIC. Penalty for early withdrawal may apply.
Well, over yesterday, we had 43/100ths of an inch of rain at the rain gauge here in the city of Glasgow, 0.43, varying amounts pretty close to that all throughout south central Kentucky. But up at E-Town, they had a lot closer to an inch, about 0.82 at E-Town. So what's today going to do? We got a 20% chance of a shower. Cloudy day and a high of 69. Cloudy tonight, a low 51. And, you know, we talked about how it seems like Halloween. How many dark, damp, leaves all over the place Halloween evenings have we spent around here? And we got another one coming up tonight, it sounds like. Tuesday, mostly sunny, a high of 69. Tuesday night, cloudy and 49. Wednesday, sunny and 70, and it just goes up from there. Pressure's at 29.91, 99% humidity. South winds at 4. 59. WCLU weather brought to you by South Central Bank.
Come see Thomas Oil and Fuel at 219 Industrial Drive. They offer 24-hour day at the pump service or pay inside during their normal business hours. Weekdays 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. No account required. They welcome everyone. Call them with your bulk fuel or oil orders at 270-651-5212. Also, come check out their selection of VP Racing Fuels. You'll be greeted with a smile. Thank you to everyone who has been by to support them, and they look forward to meeting those of you who haven't. Thomas Oil and Fuel, under new ownership, 219 Industrial Drive, Glasgow.
Protect your investment in your clothes and your image by having your clothes professionally dry cleaned at Key Cleaners in Glasgow. The Catron family has years of experience in caring for the most delicate of garments, as well as drapes and sheers, spreads and comforters, with convenient hours of 6:45 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and Saturday 8 till 1. Key 1-hour cleaners, Happy Valley Road, Glasgow, where we accept Visa and MasterCard.
This election, vote no on Amendment 2. Amendment 2 is a government mandate that would take away our individual rights. Amendment 2 is an extreme measure that bans all abortions, no exceptions. Not for the life of the mother or in the case of rape or incest. The decision to have an abortion should be made between a woman, her doctor, family, and faith. There's no telling how far politicians will go. We have to vote no on Amendment 2. Abortions in Kentucky have always been highly regulated. Abortion later in pregnancy is banned in Kentucky, and all women seeking an abortion must go through mandatory counseling. Amendment 2 puts women and families in danger. Miscarriages become fatal. Pregnancy complications can threaten a mother's life. It's why religious leaders and doctors across the state are voting no. Tell politicians Amendment 2 goes too far. On November 8th, vote no on Amendment 2.
Paid for by Protect Kentucky Access.
You know, back when we were doing the archives in 1922, we had some Union Number 5 news and said the order of the day was cutting corn and making molasses 100 years ago. Well, here we are 100 years later, and we want to suggest to you that if you don't want to cut corn and make molasses, then just cut out the middleman and head right to Glasgow Building Supply. Jimmy Holloway's got some molasses down there that he brings in from Allen County, and you're going to enjoy that delicious molasses from down at Glasgow Building Supply. He's proud of the relationship he has with the folks who manufacture that. You're going to be proud to have that on the breakfast table too, so just get ready to enjoy that. And that's Glasgow Building Supply. Molasses on the table this morning. Let me summarize some Halloween things coming up for you, and then we'll play trivia. We've got Thoroughbred Express inviting you to the Haunted Car Wash tonight, 6 till 10. Tickets are $20 per carload. You can get them online at thoroughbred.mycarwash.com. Also, the drive-through trick-or-treating is taking place tonight from 4 until 6 at Edmonton Memorial Park. How about the Glasgow trick-or-treating hours from 4:30 until 7 tonight? How about Cedar Flat Church with a trunk or treat tonight, 5 to 7. Church members are going to be set up in the church parking lot handing out candy. That's 48 Cedar Flat Curtis Road in Edmonton. The Horse Cave trick-or-treat hours tonight, 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. You can stop by Sulphur Well Methodist Church from 4:30 until 6:30 tonight for some treats for the kids. They'll be held in the parking lot of the Fellowship Hall or inside if it's raining. We'll see how that works out. And that's just a few of the ideas of places to do some trick-or-treating. But you can go online to WCLUradio.com. You can find a full list of all of the opportunities for tricking and treating tonight.
Little Caesars presents delicious duos like bacon and eggs, spaghetti and meatballs, and of course peanut butter and jelly. Now, Little Caesars brings you a large, hot and ready slices and sticks. A delicious duo featuring 4 slices of pepperoni pizza, together with 8 tasty slices of Italian cheese sticks, plus crazy sauce for only $6. Little Caesars hot and ready slices and sticks is just $6. Available every day when you walk in between 4 and 8 at Little Caesars.
Pizza. At participating locations plus tax. Prices may vary.
651-9149, 800-956-1023. Would you like to be the final winner for the month of October of trivia? The pizza is just as good the last day of the month as it is the first day of the month. You'll be a winner if you have it. It's one winner per household per month, and then we'll clear out the hat and everybody can start over new tomorrow. So let's get ready and see. It's a Halloween question right here today. I believe it was 1880 when the Halloween treat candy corn was introduced, but that wasn't what they called it. What's the original name of candy corn? I love candy corn. I'm just in a real pitiful attempt to stay away from eating it. We don't keep it around the house except for Halloween. But what was the original name of the Halloween treat that is known today as candy corn? What did they call it? People think they know. Hello, trivia.
It's chicken feed.
That's what it is. Who is this speaking?
Daryl Prophet.
Daryl, what are you doing?
I'm sitting here listening to the radio this morning.
Now, I don't think you go back to 1880, but have you had it? Did you ever eat it when it was called chicken feed?
I have heard it called that before, but I had to kind of look it up this morning.
Well, looky here. It says this, chicken feed. This is when the Goelitz, that's the Goelitz, the Goelitz Confectionery Company first produced candy corn in 1880, but it was called chicken feed. The boxes were illustrated with colorful rooster logo on it, and the tagline read this, Daryl, something worth crowing for. That's what it was. That's the way it is. That's some pretty slick marketing for 1880, isn't it?
I would say so.
So anyway, that's the deal. In 1880, they came out with chicken feed. And I don't know why they changed the name of it, but now it's much more popularly known as candy corn. And I like it, Daryl. What about you?
I'm one of those people who like it, too. Yeah. A lot of people don't, but I sure do.
Yeah, I know it. It's just, I feel better about it. What'd you eat? Just some chicken feed. Sounds better than, some candy corn. Daryl, hang on. I'll get your address, and we'll send you out and get you something much more than chicken feed for dinner. It'll be a pizza from Little Caesars, okay?
I appreciate that.
Okay,
Henry.
Thanks a lot, Daryl. Prophet, he wins trivia today. It's chicken feed. That's what the original name of candy corn was. Come back tomorrow. We'll start off the month fresh with some fun questions and some fun winners.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
Good morning from Forever Communications, WCLU Glasgow, W276VO Glasgow, WLLI Muffordville, WLYE Glasgow, W253BN Glasgow. Good morning live.
CBS News Brief. We're learning new details about the hammer attack on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's 82-year-old husband, Paul. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti is in San Francisco.
Sources tell CBS News it could have been worse. Pelosi held off the attack by asking the intruder to use the bathroom. That's when he called 911 for help.
The suspect is due to be charged today. The most racially diverse Supreme Court in history hears oral arguments in race-conscious college admissions. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The nation's highest
court first ruled in favor of affirmative action policies in 1978. But much has changed since then, with the court's conservative majority this time expected to end the use of race in higher education admissions.
It'll be a biggie tonight.
It's time to play America's favorite jackpot game. This is Powerball.
Powerball prize up to $1 billion. That's the second largest in the game's history. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Injuries and illnesses that require immediate attention can happen anytime, any day of the week. That's why TJ Urgent Care is open daily, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Their team of doctors and nurse practitioners are highly trained in caring for your family's urgent health care needs. With on-site lab, radiology, and pharmacy, TJ Urgent Care provides the ultimate convenience. No appointment is needed, and TJ Urgent Care is open 7 days a week. TJ Urgent Care, located at the TJ Health Pavilion in Glasgow. TJ Urgent Care. Total local care.
At Metro by T-Mobile, you can save more. Choose from the largest selection of free 5G phones from brands you love, like Samsung, with one line of unlimited 5G for $40, period. Taxes and fees included. That's the lowest price in prepaid. Switch now and get both to save more, only at Metro. If congested, the fraction of users greater than 35 gigabytes per month may notice reduced speeds, and Metro customers may notice reduced speeds versus T-Mobile due to prioritization. Video streams in SD requires eligible port-in. See store for details.
Well, good morning. It's Monday, October 31st, 2022. I'm Brennan Crane. It's great to have you with us this morning. You're listening to the 7 o'clock morning edition on WCLU Local News. Weather forecast today, if you haven't heard it already this morning, a little bit of drizzle out there. Whether you're coming into town here in Glasgow or you're going out, you're likely going to see wet roads across the region. Of course, yesterday we had rain, and looks like we will have a small chance here and there today, a 20% chance. By this evening, looks like that's going to taper off, mostly cloudy this evening with a low around 52. Now, looking ahead toward the rest of your week, this is the big deal here. On Friday and even into Saturday, so your weekend, we are going to be warming up almost to 80 degrees again. So welcome into November, right? And of course, we are going to see those temperatures gradually as we move through the rest of the week go up and up and up. And maybe by the weekend, we'll have those summer feels again. So folks who are holding on to that, something to rejoice about, perhaps. In news this hour, Glasgow police investigated a crash yesterday evening that they say involved a Barron County Sheriff's deputy vehicle and another car. Charges are being sought for a man who allegedly crashed his vehicle at the scene of another car crash there along Old Bowling Green Road yesterday evening. Glasgow police say they investigated the crash at 3310 Old Bowling Green Road around 8:11 p.m. Now, the Barron County Sheriff's Office, they were on scene for a separate motor vehicle crash that had happened around 7:42 p.m. Police say that Bradford Berryman was driving westbound along the roadway in a 2007 Chevrolet Impala. He allegedly crashed into the rear of an unoccupied vehicle, which eventually crashed into that deputy's cruiser. Alcohol is suspected to be a factor in this crash, and according to a news release from Glasgow police, all vehicles sustained moderate to severe damage. Authorities on scene, they were not injured, though there were several there. Now, Berryman was transported to the T.J. Sampson Hospital for injuries he sustained in that crash. He was later taken to the University of Louisville Hospital by Marin Metcalf EMS, and that crash, it remains under investigation. Also happening here in Glasgow, a man was arrested after he allegedly undressed himself in the parking lot of an area hotel last week. Police in Glasgow say they responded Thursday to Holiday Inn Express. An officer made contact with 39-year-old Dustin Banks in the grass area of the parking lot. Banks said he had purchased the clothing and was simply dressing himself. An officer conducted a search and found meth and another unknown substance. Both belonged to Banks. According to that news release, Banks was arrested, charged with 2 counts of first-degree possession of a controlled substance. Sergeant Michael Bergen arrested Banks, and he was assisted on the scene by Officer Julie Robinson. Well, lots of things to go over in the way of school news. Big stuff happening at Glasgow High School. Of course, if you haven't heard, big accolade for the Glasgow Scotty Band this past weekend. We'll touch base on that in just a moment. But first, it's your wrap for your Monday morning. Here with the Scotty Report, it's the best of G-Town, you know.
Hey Scotties, I'm Acacia Hayes, Editor-in-Chief of the Scotty Channel. Welcome to this spooky edition of G-Town You Know.
On today's episode, Glasgow High School checks out Banned Books Week. We sit down for 60 seconds with one of our new English teachers, and we meet Sammy the Ghost of GHS. The Scotty Channel also takes a look in the library at our very first book tasting event. But first, we have Will Perosi with the headlines.
Good morning, Scotties. I'm Will Perosi, back again with your G-Town headlines. The Glasgow Scotty Band recently took first place at Region for the third consecutive year. Western Kentucky University's Glasgow campus recently launched a new program that will allow area high school students to gain a year's worth of college credits while still in high school. Thanks to WKU for this new opportunity for our Scotties. HOSA Club will be hosting a blood drive in the GHS gym on Wednesday, November 2nd from 8:30 to 1:30. Scotties, in order to donate, you must have parent permission, be 16 or older, at least 110 pounds, and heavily eat and hydrate at least 24 hours before donating. Remember, the more donations we get, the more scholarship money we receive. And you know, the whole saving lives part too. There are some renovations occurring on the Glasgow downtown square, including the replacement of sidewalks and the addition of planters and landscaping with an automatic watering system, thanks to the city for beautifying our home. Halloween is on Monday, and all Scotties are reminded to act responsibly while partaking in Halloween activities. If you trick-or-treat with your younger siblings, it is from 4:30 to 7 p.m.
Recently, Glasgow High School celebrated Banned Books Week. So we went around the school to ask teachers and students about the subject.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Basile and I'm here with
Miss Castle.
Why are people celebrating banned books?
So we celebrate, it's funny that you ask that because sometimes my students say, why would you celebrate banning books? I say, well, we're celebrating the fight against banning books. When you ban books, you're silencing people's stories, and we want all of our students to have access to all information and have their rights to intellectual freedom protected.
What's up, Scotties? I'm Ryan Randall, sports editor of the Scotty Channel. The Scotty football team is now 6-3 on the season after a huge 65-34 win over Casey County. Cross country runners Mia Cassidy and Quentin Grisham qualified for the 2A state meet.
Hey Scotties, I'm Addie McCoy and I'm here with Lainey Bishop. What is it like playing with Caroline on the volleyball team?
It's really fun. I like getting to play with my younger sister. I like watching her grow as a player and just getting better every day.
Here with Caroline Bishop. What is it like having an older sister on the volleyball team?
Well, I think it's really good for me because she helps me out and stuff, and we just work together, and it's a good, sibling bonding experience.
Thanks to everyone who helped out with today's show. Until next week, this is G-Town You Know.
All right, thank you there. Again, students producing that newscast and that wrap there for you from Glasgow High School, that media class there led by Mr. Will Perkins, former Glasgow Daily Times journalist. And as a reminder, you can catch that full episode of the Best of G-Town You Know at their YouTube channel. Well, Christmas time, of course, is approaching now that we're really turning the page. Of course, today is Halloween. We'll be getting into the fact that it's November, but go ahead and get a head start. The Postal Service is accepting letters for the 110-year-old USPS Operation Santa program. Letters that must be postmarked by December 10th and will be uploaded to USPSOperationSanta.com. That's through December 15th for potential adoption. Now, how does this work? Well, participation in the USPS Operation Santa, it's simple. All you have to do is write a letter, put it in an envelope affixed with a first-class mail forever stamp, and make sure you include your full return address, apartment number, directional information, things like that, and send it to Santa's official workshop address at Santa Claus, 123 Elf Road, North Pole, 88888. Please note that letters without the full return address or names, they will not be posted for adoption. Now, again, this is a great opportunity for parents that if you're listening and you'd like to put your child on this list, of course, folks will be browsing through here through the holiday season. They could adopt your child's letter, of course, and that's going to be a great time, of course, and then Santa Claus will be bringing all of those items, hopefully, to a home near you. 7:18 now. It's 59 degrees on this morning's 911 report. One more time, those two accidents with injury yesterday. That first one happening at 7:42 at 3310 Old Bowling Green Road, and then unfortunately just 18 minutes later a drunk driver or alleged drunk driver crashed into the scene of that other crash. So again, we have that information at our website if you need to review that or would like to read more about that, WCLUradio.com. It's Monday, October 31st. On the other side of this break, we're going to talk about Halloween this evening, where you can trick or treat, times, and more. All of this on WCLU Local News. Stay right there.
Most people will hesitate before planning a funeral in advance.
The funeral? We'll arrange that when the time comes.
But there's a lot to be said for advance planning. For one thing, you have the peace of mind of knowing that your arrangements have all been made. You can consider the options when your mind is clear, and you'll have the relief of knowing that your loved one will be well cared for. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
Everyone has the right to control their own future.
This is not the case if you've been seriously injured in a car wreck or a big truck wreck. The insurance company will take advantage of you.
We've recovered over $1 billion for our clients.
We're passionate about getting big dollar results for our clients.
Control starts with a call. Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others. Over $1 billion recovered for our clients in Kentucky and Tennessee.
Hughes & Coleman is proud to be the official injury lawyers of the Tennessee Titans. To celebrate, Hughes & Coleman is giving away 2 free club-level tickets to every Titans home game and suite tickets to select Titans games. All you have to do is go to titans.hughesandcoleman.com, titans.hughesandcoleman.com, and register for your chance to win. Valid for residents 18 years or older in Tennessee and Kentucky. See titans.hughesandcoleman.com for official rules. Principal office, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Welcome back into WCLU Local News. I'm Brennan Crane. Great to have you with us today. It's October 31st, also known as Halloween, and folks are excited about that. Looks like the rain may hold off this evening. The greatest chance is this morning and maybe into the early afternoon, about a 20% chance, so nothing to worry about for the evening. Will be a lot of cloud cover, however, and looks like tonight about low of 52, and when you're out and about trick-or-treating, which we'll talk about that time in just a moment, looks like those temperatures may be a little bit warmer, so pleasant, maybe a light jacket. Looks like Halloween times across the area. Of course, here in Glasgow, it will be 4:30 until 7 this evening, and lots of folks are going to be participating in the citywide trick-or-treating. And, of course, if you are going to hand out candy, 4:30 to 7, that's the time to shoot for, and then trick-or-treaters as well will be out and about during that time. Use caution if you're traveling along the roadway. Looks like the city of Bowling Green is going to be about the same time, 4:30 to 7 or 8, somewhere in that range. And then the city of Park City here in Barron County, 4:30 until 7 as well. So that appears to be the average time. Looks like there is the early afternoon and getting into that evening time. Of course, it's going to be getting dark, as if you've noticed, we are getting dark much, much earlier now, and that is going to be the case because unfortunately, for some folks, that time is going back next Sunday, November 6th. Another housekeeping item that we do want you to know about, of course, we are moving toward the fact that today's the last day of the month. We're going to be heading into the first of the month and then moving on toward this weekend. Lots of things. Stay tuned to our community calendar. We do want to mention to you that County Road, Moore Road, has now reopened. If you're traveling along Highway 90, you've likely noticed that Moore Road has closed, and that was due to the fact that the Highway 90 construction project is ongoing. That's creating a bypass around the 88 community, so eventually that's going to be where you won't even pass by landmarks like the Refuge Church of Christ. When you're traveling along Highway 90, it will be a complete bypass around there. You've likely noticed that if you're traveling there. And again, keep in mind that as we move on into November, the holidays are going to be coming up. There will be a lot of resources for you to help folks in the community if you're looking for that. We'll have an exciting story later on this week about one local teenager who is collecting toys to donate to Children's Hospital, and he has quite a bit of experience with that, given the fact that he had an illness himself. 7:22 now. It's 59 degrees. I'm Brennan Crane. It's great to have you with us today. Stay tuned. Still lots to get to. It's Monday, October 31st.
You work hard for your money, and South Central Bank has created a way to get your money working for you by announcing new CD rates. A 21-month CD with an APY of 3.25% is now available. That's right, a 21-month CD paying 3.25% is available right now from South Central Bank. Need a shorter term? Well, a 9-month CD will pay 2.5% APY. Minimum deposit $500. The power of these CD rates is very impressive. Come into any South Central Bank office today and get your money working for you. Remember FDIC. Penalty for early withdrawal may apply.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/advantage. netsuite.com/advantage.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
A Tennessee man is facing multiple charges after a deadly crash involving police early Sunday morning.
Kentucky State Police in London investigating a crash that killed a local police officer. Investigators say 26-year-old officer Logan Medlock was in his cruiser at South Main and Kentucky 229 in London when it was struck by a pickup, allegedly driven by 36-year-old Casey Bird of Tennessee. Officer Medlock was pronounced dead at the scene.
This department is hurting today. This community is hurting. They've lost, one of the good guys.
KSP Trooper Scotty Pennington says that Officer Medlock was the son of the assistant London police chief. Investigators say Bird was drunk at the time of the crash. He's now facing multiple charges. I'm Jack Crumley.
A University of Kentucky student is among those who died in a crowd surge in South Korea over the weekend.
A woman who was a nursing student at the University of Kentucky was among those killed after a huge Halloween party crowd surged in South Korea. UK's president made the announcement that Anne Gieske was among the over 150 people that were killed in the incident. She was from Northern Kentucky and graduated from Beechwood High School back in 2021. I'm Sarah Elise.
Police are looking for a woman who has been missing since crashing her car in McLean County on Saturday night. Kentucky State Police are asking for the public's help in finding 28-year-old Elza Cole of Evansville, Indiana. Officials say Cole went missing around 11:30 p.m. that night when she crashed into the US 431 Green River Bridge. The Green River is being searched by various emergency service departments. Anyone with any information is asked to come forward. Knott County officials are making plans for the holidays to help people living at the Carr Creek Campground and Mine-Made Adventure Park to enjoy Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm Sean McCormick.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Why wait to save? Dell Technologies Black Friday event arrives early with select deals on top tech to power business productivity. The savings start now with up to 48% off performance business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, including free shipping on everything. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL for Black Friday deals. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
The new
Stock
Twitter.
number SC550415. MSRP 47915. Stock number NL275667. MSRP 30145. All incidents to dealer plus tax title license. Must finance with GM Financial with approved credit. Some may not qualify. See dealer for details. Offer ends 10/3/22.
Take advantage of spooktacular savings at Don Franklin Chevrolet. During truck season, get $500 customer cash, plus a $1,000 accessory allowance on select new 2022 Silverado 1500 models, or 1.9% for 60 months on the all-new 2022 Equinox. Find new roads at Don Franklin Chevrolet in Glasgow.
Here's the score from the Kentucky News Network. I'm Scott Fitzgerald. Well, the Kentucky Wildcat men's basketball team kicking off exhibition play yesterday in Lexington, taking on Missouri Western.
Xavier wearing that white headband. Left hand pass to Frederick. Curls on the screen. Hits the shot and got fouled. C.J. Frederick knocks down the jumper. It's a two-shot basket.
A little bit of a signal there that Collins has picked up a little weight. Set a great screen to get C.J. open that time.
That, of course, voice of the Cats, Tom Leach, and Jack Goose Gibbons on the call. Redshirt senior C.J. Frederick with 2 of his game-leading 15 points. The Cats win 56-38. Afterwards, Goose catching up with the Iowa transfer who missed all of last season following a hamstring injury. Said they put the emphasis on defense.
After the blue-white scrimmage, coach was like, no offense all week. So we did defense all week, and I thought our defense was pretty good tonight. But offense is going to come. We're still figuring it out, but I thought at times when we got stops and got in transition, we were getting good looks, and then just need to clean up some half-court sets and stuff like that, but we're going to be okay.
Next up for the Cats, the last of 2 exhibition games against Kentucky State Thursday before they open the season a week from tonight against Howard. Turning now to the Oblong, it's the Bengals and the Browns clashing in Cleveland tonight on Monday Night Football on Halloween night. The Bengals come in winners 4 of their last 5 to 4-3, but they did lose star wideout Jamar Chase to a hip injury that will sideline him for multiple weeks. To college football, following their blowout loss to Tennessee, the Kentucky Wildcats have dropped out of the latest AP rankings while they're holding on in the coaches poll at number 24. They will look to rebound at home this week against Missouri, who upset then number 25 South Carolina over the weekend 25-10. And it's post-position draw day today for the $6 million Breeders' Cup Classic on Saturday at Keeneland. Kentucky men's basketball coach John Calipari will do the honors. Our own Will Clark is there. We'll bring you the latest here on this Kentucky News Network station. I'm Scott Fitzgerald.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Thank you, Scott. Yes, it was painful to watch there on Saturday as the Wildcats kind of took it on the chin to University of Tennessee. They dropped out of the rankings here for the week, but they'll get back into it, I am sure. 7:30, we got Banking on Business coming up straight ahead here on WCLU, and a whole lot of things to talk about, so hang on.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
This is Melissa Carey, the new Vice President with the People's Bank. With life, we are met with daily challenges. Some are easy, while others may be more challenging. No matter the change, we at the People's Bank understand and want to help you. If you are looking for a change in banking, look no further. The People's Bank are experienced bankers ready to meet you with all of your financial needs. I look forward to serving my community. We are working for you. The People's Bank, working for you, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Terry Burnell with the People's Bank, and welcome to another segment of Banking on Business. This morning I'm at Diana Pierce. We're at the Parkview Event Center, 113 Parkview Drive here in Glasgow. Diana, welcome to today's program.
Thank you for having me.
Are you more than welcome? And I'm really glad that we're right here in front of this fireplace this morning.
It's nice on a cool morning like this.
It's fantastic. It's just fun being here and feeling the heat from that, but just being in the event center. Y'all done a fabulous job with this building.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's a long time coming and coming together, but we made it happen.
Now tell us a little bit about the history of it, though. I mean, did you just wake up one day and say, hey, I want to do this, or had you been planning this for a while?
It's something I wanted to do for a while.
Okay.
I've been a nurse all my adult life, and we just saw a need in the community as our family grew, and we were looking for places to have parties and weddings and showers.
Right.
And we just kind of expanded on that dream. It just worked for this time in our lives.
Yeah. I mean, when people come in this facility, I mean, you're blown away with the space that's in here.
It is. We have a little over 7,000 feet of open space.
Yeah.
Our capacity is 480, but we can comfortably seat up to 250 with our tables and chairs.
Wow. 250 tables and chairs.
250 seats.
Seats, I'm sorry. 250 seats, I'm sorry, okay. And then people are using this for just about everything?
They are. We've had a wide variety of events. We've had small baby showers, birthday parties. We've had some family reunions. A couple of school dances we've had here. We've actually had some weddings.
Wow. Okay.
It's just been a wide variety of events that people are choosing to have in our event center.
So it's living up to its name. It is the event center.
It is. It is. It's an event.
Yeah. So when people, they go onto a Facebook page to make reservations, call you, what's the best way?
The best way is to give me a call. My number is 270-590-2106.
Okay.
And then we also have a Facebook page, so you can send me a message. I try to respond to those pretty quickly.
Okay. And so it's available for usage 7 days a week?
7 days a week. Just whatever the need is and when you want to have an event.
What do people need to know about when they want to make a reservation? I mean, they're going to bring their own food into it. You have people though that cater and.
Right. We've had people do a variety of things. We don't do any food service ourselves. So everything is you bring in from your own potlucks. We've had people bring in their crock pots and their own food from home to fully catered events.
Okay.
So, the choice is you. We provide the space, and it's up to your imagination what you want to do with it.
What you want to do with it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to have this in our community. Another plus for our community. People have space to get together.
They do, and it's always good it feels good to be able to bring something to our community that we haven't had before and to be a part of that.
Well, congratulations, you and your family.
Thank you.
Good job. We appreciate you watching and listening this morning to another segment of Banking on Business, being with Diana Pierce here at Parkview Event Center. If you're looking for some place to hold an event of any type,
absolutely.
Diana's going through a whole list, and I'm sure there's more, but this is the location to come to, and she and her family have done a fantastic job here again, so thanks for doing this.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you watching and listening this morning.
The chance to go down there to that Parkview Event Center. Diana Pierce and the staff have done a great job. It is a really great place. I've been to some events there, and it just fills the bill to have a nice, big, roomy area to do things. And we appreciate the good folks at the People's Bank making you aware of this. If you weren't aware of the Parkview Event Center, you can get on our WCLUradio.com. I know it'll be posted on the Banking on Business site here very soon, but you want to be sure and pass it along, share it, say, hey kids, here's a place we can have a family reunion, or hey Rotary Club, here's a place we can do this or that. Check it out. And the People's Bank, a sponsor of Banking on Business. Okay, what I want to do next is this. I promised I was going to do this, so I'm going to get over here and sound my little touch tone sound. Wherever that went, where'd it go? I've got two tickets to give away to the fifth caller right now at 651-9149 or 800-956-1023. These are two tickets to the Bobby Driver Memorial Scholarship event that is coming up this weekend. These are great seats. They're on row U, seats 12 and 15. It's coming up this weekend. It's going to be a ball. Fifth caller wins right now.
Having a degree is all about timing and what's important to you. For me, life was already happening. I was married with 2 kids, but I knew in order to set myself apart, I needed to further my education.
Indiana Tech has quality, affordable degree programs to advance your career and the personalized support that helps you succeed. We have in-demand programs in areas like business, healthcare, information technology, cybersecurity, engineering, criminal justice, and many more.
Getting a degree in healthcare administration helped me stand out when it came time to advance my career. The flexibility of online classes worked great for me, and the instructors were really supportive. I was even honored as an outstanding graduate in healthcare administration. Had I done this right out of high school, I wouldn't have been as successful.
Take the next step towards your bright future. Learn more today how Indiana Tech helps busy working adults advance their careers at online.indianatech.edu.
Registration for the next class session ends November 11th.
Fifth time I picked up the phone, James Lyons was on the phone. Hey, James, how you doing?
Pretty well.
You getting a good start to your day?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
This is a big deal, James. This is going to be the 14th year for the Bobby Driver Memorial Scholarship event. It's the funding scholarships for young students. This year's the theme is Shadows of the Past. Would you like to sit down and have a good evening of wonderful music at the Plaza Theater, James?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think this is going to be a really, really, really good event. It's on a Saturday night. A lot of good musicians. I know the band. Are you familiar with the band High Fidelity?
Somewhat. I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good. And you just can't believe how good they are. And you be sure and get down there and enjoy. They got a lot of special guests, too. Going to be folks like Jeff Bruce and Sam Day Dickinson and Byron Lucas, Brian Pack, Reagan Blair, Lauren Gatewood, Kayla Commons, Lucy Richardson, Haley Wyatt, Amy Gill, Josh Garrett, and Kevin Pointer. That is just to name a few, along with the band High Fidelity, and you've won a pair of tickets, okay?
Sounds great.
And you come by the radio station right here, James, and pick those up, and we will have those for you. You're on row U, seats 12 and 13, and I can tell you that's a good seat. Thank you for tuning in this morning, James.
Thank you.
Have a good day, sir. Bye-bye. James
You
Lyons,
too.
that's right. He wins 2 tickets. And I'm going to tell you, this is not the only pair we have. We have more tickets we're going to be giving away this week, getting ready for the all-exciting Bobby Driver Memorial Scholarship event that is coming up on this Saturday night. Now, while I got you here, I'm going to get over here. I got to talk about some birthdays today. We've got birthdays to tell you about. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Been busy. We learned Carl Huff has a birthday today. Larry Bragg. Hey, Larry, we sounded the 70 gong for you, sir, last hour. So we'll be sure to honor your 70th birthday. Joshua Emmett turned 15 yesterday. Mark Johnson, Larry Tinsley, Gene Crow. That's Gene Crow. I've got Gene Crow and Linda Sue Coe side by side. So I gotta think that through before I read it. So happy birthday to Gene Crow and Linda Sue Coe. We have Daryl DeRosset. We have Kathy Botts, and we have a wedding anniversary. This is the anniversary of James and Leanne Gillentine. That's James and Leanne Gillentine. Congratulations. Let's see here. Today it is Russell Hobbs Day on the radio. Now, Russell had a birthday yesterday, and we had one of those nice submissions where somebody writes in a request for a person to be good as gold, and we work it out to where we can make it happen. Usually we're able to get it on the day it was requested. I think we have got that done again, but it's Russell Hobbs Day on the radio. Russell Hobbs, he had a birthday yesterday. Actually, he turned 40 yesterday. That's a big deal. Now, let me tell you what the person who requested him to be good as gold says. Says that Russell turned 40 years young yesterday. Now, get this. He is recovering well from an injury where a car fell on top of him. That's right. A car fell on top of him. If anybody deserves a pat on the back, it's him. And we think we should jump in here and do that. So if you see Russell Hobbs around, why don't you do that today? From WCLU and a little taste of Texas, y'all.
Transparency, fiscal responsibility, innovation, and leadership are...
Hi, I am Jamie Bewley-Byrd, and I'm running to be your next Barron County Judge Executive. I'm running because I believe that Barron County has even brighter days ahead. I believe that Barron County's good old days are in front of us and not behind us. Barron County is where I run my own business and where my husband and I have made a home for our family. It's time to elect a leader ready to make changes and truly champion all of Barron County. I'm Jamie Bewley-Byrd, and I humbly ask for your support and your vote for the future of Barron County.
Refine, revitalize, and restore with great gifts for any occasion.
Glasgow's premier med spa, R Plus, is here to help you enhance your self-image by celebrating your unique beauty. Shop from the brands we love at our retail store, or purchase a gift certificate for any of our services, from hydrofacials and skin pen to laser treatments and massage therapy. Pamper your loved one today with the gift of care from R Plus Med Spa in Glasgow.
The Glasgow Police Department, we strongly believe in outreach and getting involved with our community.
Honestly, we're doing more than just out in the community writing tickets. We're here for the community when they call for help.
We deal with medical patients, we deal with all kinds of sorts of things and all kinds of different people.
I enjoy getting the calls of, hey, I need gas, can you bring me a gas can?
We're always involved in stuff and just trying to invest in our community and make it better.
Glasgow's always been my home. This is where I was born and raised, and this is where I'll stay.
Authority in heaven and on earth. Furthermore, at John 12:48, we're told that his words will be our standard of judgment at the last day. God loves all people, but that love cannot be twisted to mean the support and acceptance of that which God calls sin. The practice of sin will cost many their soul at the judgment. This is Danny Wyatt for the Refuge Church of Christ.
Whether you have a little boo-boo or a great big boo-boo, when it comes to your car, who fixes those problems really matters. Shaw's Body Shop in Glasgow is a well-established, reputable company capable of taking care of any size damage to your car. In fact, many major insurance carriers have Shaw's on their preferred repair shop list. What does that tell you? It tells you whether you have a little ding or a big bang. Get it fixed right with Shaw's Body Shop on West Main, 651-5172.
744 WCLU. Good morning live, 59 degrees. Couple things I want you to know about here before we get into tidbit news here just in a second. The American Red Cross is in need of volunteers. They need volunteers for November the 11th and the 12th to help to install free smoke alarms in Barron County, along with the help of the fire departments between the hours of 9 and 4 on the 11th and the 12th. Now, to volunteer, email SCKYHomefire@redcross.org. I got a phone number for you here. It's 270-715-1129 and leave a message. And certainly this is a wonderful gesture to try to avoid a tragedy. Try to get some of these homes that don't have smoke alarms in them with smoke alarms installed. They're going to be doing that on the 11th and 12th of November. They need volunteers. I'm going to give you this number again. It's 270-715-1129. And also, Kay Harbison is going to speak on prehistoric Native Americans in Kentucky at the Mary Wood Weldon Library tomorrow. Tomorrow night at 6, she'll discuss the history and share artifacts from the collection of the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center.
I'm Michael Hale. For the past 8 years, I've had the honor of serving Barron County and the people who call it home as your county judge executive. Barron County is a thriving community with lots of opportunities for small businesses and jobs. We've helped agricultural and parks and recreation flourish with over 800 youth participating, along with the increase in recruitment with 4-H and FFA. With your vote this November, we can continue to do so. Thank you.
Paid for by Michael Hale.
Anderson Windows and Doors with Stormwatch Protection are designed to meet building codes for coastal locations from Maine to Miami, Gainesville to Galveston, and they're on guard even when no one is home. Anderson Windows and Doors with Stormwatch Protection. The uglier the weather gets, the more beautiful they become.
See the full line of Anderson Windows and Doors at Glasgow Building Supply, 31E Bypass in Glasgow. Anderson Windows. Come home to Anderson.
Injuries and illnesses that require immediate attention can happen anytime, any day of the week. That's why TJ Urgent Care is open daily, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Their team of doctors and nurse practitioners are highly trained in caring for your family's urgent health care needs. With on-site lab, radiology, and pharmacy, TJ Urgent Care provides the ultimate convenience. No appointment is needed, and TJ Urgent Care is open 7 days a week. TJ Urgent Care, located at the TJ Health Pavilion in Glasgow. TJ Urgent Care, total local care.
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
Spin the globe, tidbit news.
Morning, sir.
For today, doing all right over there, James Coates?
Yes, sir, man. How are you?
See any Halloween-looking things coming in?
Quite a few.
It looks like Halloween out there, doesn't it?
It does. Cloudy, breezy.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of rainy looking.
We had here's a tidbit story. I just got this last hour on the trivia questions today. The question was, what was the original name of candy corn? And it turned out to be the original name was Chicken Feed. In 1880, they named it Chicken Feed. They had a box with a colorful rooster on it, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I got a call from Larry Wilson. Larry is retired as a family resource officer down at Austin Tracy School. He wanted to tell me a story about Chicken Feed.
Okay.
He said that all the teachers at Austin Tracy. He learned this from the teachers at Austin Tracy. Of course, they're smart gals and guys down there at Austin Tracy. Said all you got to do is take one piece of candy corn and 2 pieces of peanuts and chew them up together, and it tastes just like a Payday candy bar. What do you think about that?
I don't know if I have a thought on that.
I can kind of see that, I guess.
Yeah, that's what Larry says. You know, they told him that down there. Take one piece of candy corn and 2 pieces of peanut, and what you have is you have a homemade Payday, so to speak.
Can we try that later?
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess it would. I guess it could, but I don't really like candy corn.
Okay.
I do. It's my favorite.
I like it. I'm glad it's seasonal because it wouldn't be good if it was year-round.
It's got a strange taste to it.
While we're talking about Halloween, as Americans load up on an estimated 600 million pounds of Halloween candy this year, there's a handful of companies trying to make it easier to recycle all those wrappers. Mars Wrigley is sending 17,400 free bags to U.S. consumers to collect plastic wrappers and mail them to a specialty recycler. Rubicon Technologies is sending 5,000 free boxes to schools and businesses to recycle candy wrappers. Plastic wrappers are hard to recycle because they're small. They contain food waste, and they have little value.
Yeah.
Candy makers say they're working on new packaging that be more easily recyclable or compostable. So, I don't know. I just say buy one bag and eat the whole bag.
Paper and all.
How's that for being
just eat it
ergonomically correct?
It's National Sneak Some of the Candy Yourself before the kids start knocking day, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, or actually sneak more after they go to bed.
I think today's Dan Rather's birthday.
Is it?
I think so. I didn't know he was born on Halloween. It's
great to know.
Yeah, there you go.
It's also today National Caramel Apple Day.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
I can dig on that.
What was that?
I don't know.
Somebody starting up their vehicle or what?
No, it's supposed to be Halloween music.
Oh, okay. I thought it was that motorcycle you rode over here from Brownsville.
Sounds like the ambience in an airplane. I was like, what is it?
That doesn't sound too creepy, does it?
Well, it's not creepy.
Really.
There we go.
There we go.
Phantom of the Opera.
Meanwhile.
Oh, me. I've heard that voice before. That low, deep voice into the mic. James sometimes has a good ability to, he can really take on a different personality.
Do that Vincent Price thing.
Sometimes.
Yeah. All right, let me tell you about this story.
Oh, boy.
Walgreens is no longer going to evaluate its pharmacy staffers based on the speed and other metrics amid complaints from pharmacists across the industry that the pressure to meet targets, like the number of filled prescriptions, is leading to dangerous mistakes and staff burnout. I never thought about this, but apparently Walgreens, they're an excellent company, but apparently they evaluate pharmacists based on how fast they can crank out prescriptions.
Yeah, that could be deadly. It could be.
Walgreens is the country's second largest pharmacy chain and announced Wednesday that it's eliminating the task-based metrics from performance evaluations to allow its pharmacy staffers to place even greater focus on patient care. They will now be evaluated solely on the behaviors that best support patient care and enhance the patient experience. A spokesman declined to provide specific examples of the metrics that Walgreens is eliminating. For years, pharmacists and pharmacy techs around the country have been sounding the alarm about working conditions and understaffing, which they say increase the potential for mistakes for filling prescriptions. The problem worsened during the coronavirus pandemic, according to many workers, as pharmacies became key locations for COVID-19 testing and vaccination. So,
speed does not outweigh accuracy.
No, that's right. Probably it's a good idea.
Right.
They went ahead and got this done before they had a big problem with it,
Yeah.
Good Lord. We need to go as slow as it takes to get it right.
But I think, honestly, bigger chains like that, they have a little bit of this ability to be dilute in the fact that I guess the consumer is not going to be noticing a widespread, issue there because likely I'm not getting my prescription filled at, Walmart here, Walmart there, Walmart over here, So anyway, my point stands to say that, hey, I'm glad they're noticing it themselves and not trying to take the easy way out.
Well, yeah, that's
Exactly.
right. This is just not, we're not going to, because you think about it, a lot of people are, they want to get good on their evaluation.
Sure.
So if they think they're being evaluated because of how fast they get this done,
But it's not an assembly line.
no, well, even though I've seen it during the height of flu season where it kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we'll see how that works. And I bet others will follow suit as well.
Yeah.
And let's see, finally, this story. This is an intriguing story. Think about this. There's a new job posting in Pasadena, Texas, that's turning heads. It's making some people laugh. Other people are scowling. Here's the job posting. This is from the owners of Pets Gone Wild Resort.
Pets Gone Wild.
That's right.
And they have.
He put up a hiring sign. Tuesday morning it says, quote, "We're now hiring non-stupid people," unquote.
I like that job description.
Yeah.
Driving west down Crenshaw Road in southern part of Pasadena, it's a sign that's hard to miss. They don't think they're stupid, so they came in to apply. How's that for a tricky way? Yeah, hiring non-stupid. Well, I'm not stupid. I'll apply.
This is a matter of opinion. It's going to end up in a discrimination lawsuit.
Outside the resort, there's a job posting like no other. We're trying to weed out the people that do come in. We hired one last week. Lasted 3 days. This fellow, Mr. Parsons.
Sounds familiar.
The owner of Pets Gone Wild. Parsons says the resort has been trying to fill positions for a while. They've made postings online, but they haven't had many applicants, and the employees they have hired haven't worked out. This is one of the examples here. He says, repeatedly, "Get off your cell phone. You've got dogs to watch." Okay, put the cell phone up. Go back out there.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, she's back on her cell phone, Mr. Parsons says.
Yeah.
"At least be as smart as I am," unquote. So they tried another approach. The very first one at the top of the page from Amazon, we got a good laugh out of it. My wife says, "Get it." And I said, okay. So they bought a banner that says, "Now hiring non-stupid people."
But people that are, they really don't know they are.
He said that within 24 hours they got 3 solid applicants. And they really actually have no more use for the sign since they got 3 good applicants.
There's so many other words I could think of.
Yeah. But not everybody's happy. What does it say to the prior employees?
Yeah.
Oh, we think you're stupid, so we're trying to hire somebody that we think is smarter than you.
See, for people that don't understand branding, this is why it's important, because just come out and say stupid, could be offensive, but you could come up with a better word.
Yeah.
Maybe go ahead and get rid of people that would otherwise want to apply because of the attraction to the word stupid.
This person, Taylor N., said that she was appalled when she saw the sign saying there are other non-offensive ways to grab attention. She says the fact that they felt so emboldened to put something up like that, it's disgusting, it's distasteful, and it's unprofessional, Taylor said.
And quite stupid.
And I don't think she works there either. Others said it gave them a laugh.
You know, it's. Have you noticed when you go out somewhere to eat or wherever that there is a real shortage of workers?
Yeah.
Which is causing stress among the customers.
It is, big time.
Causing stress among the staff.
I mean, it's like, you know, you just have a handful of people trying to pull off this massive job.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you know...
It stretches to every single industry.
It really does. And when, I mean, kids, you know, when I say 2021, Brennan's age.
Yeah, those kids.
They can work from home. They can work off of an app and make more money and not have to deal with punching in, punching out, and, you know. So what's going to be the end of this? I mean, what's going to happen? More and more kids are working online or just not working at all.
Well, it seems to me like this one's working. This, hiring non-stupid people. They got 3 good applicants, so that might be it.
Maybe.
We'll have to see. And that's what we have for today in the way of tidbit news. We'll work on some more for tomorrow.
It's 4th and long. The Titans are going to need a miracle to win this game. The quarterback is calling an audible at the line.
800, 4,600, 800, 4,600.
The pass is up. Touchdown, Titans! It always pays to make the right call. If you've been injured in a car wreck, make the right call. Hughes and Coleman, 800-800-4600. Call today for a free case evaluation. Hughes and Coleman, the official injury lawyers of the Tennessee Titans.
Principal Office, Bowling Green, Kentucky. Hughes & Coleman is proud to be the official injury lawyers of the Tennessee Titans. To celebrate, Hughes & Coleman is giving away 2 free club-level tickets to every Titans home game and sweep tickets to select Titans games. All you have to do is go to titans.hughesandcoleman.com, titans.hughesandcoleman.com, and register for your chance to win. Valid for residents 18 years or older in Tennessee and Kentucky. See titans.hughesandcoleman.com for official rules. Principal Office, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those in the Marine Corps' base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve. But passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file lawsuit seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation. 800-611-3437. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-611-3437. That's 800-611-3437. Again, 800